3 lies that you are believing as an artist that are holding you back. And I'm going to go through these 3 lies plus a bonus one that these are all different lies that maybe you're believing subconsciously or consciously that you're aware of that are holding you back from moving forward in your purpose. Hello again, everybody. My name is Jesse of Art and Void. If you haven't subscribed to the channel by now, this would be a great time. Don't worry, I'm not putting a ring on your finger, but your subscription means a lot to me and it will help out the channel immensely. So let's get into these lies that we often believe, and I'm going to give you my non-conventional response to a lot of these. These are all different things that I definitely have gone through in one way or another, or maybe at times I still am faced with. So number 1, I'm not good enough. So if you want to know the truth, you might not be good enough. You might not be good enough to be a professional. You might not be good enough to capture attention, to produce responses emotionally from people. But you are probably not the worst. And in the grand scheme of things, good is actually irrelevant. There are artists throughout time and currently that are awful. There are writers who are hacks, who found success. There are filmmakers who are brilliant but never got recognition that they deserved. To point this out, Uwe Boll is a film director, or at least he was, and he not only made just one god-awful adaptation of a video game into a movie, but he made like 8 of them, maybe even more. I didn't totally research it, but he made a bunch of them. And he just kept making them. And this guy was terrible. Not just sort of like the kind of terrible where it's charming, but just like, how is this guy making movies? It's mind-boggling. So what does it even mean to be good enough? The fact that I see so many people making awful music, TV shows, movies is actually kind of liberating to me. And this is really a practical tool that I use whenever I sit down to write a screenplay. Screenwriting is far from my favorite thing to do in the filmmaking process. But the way I get over staring at that blank page when I'd rather be doing something else is to actually not make something good. My little trick that I use, my daily goal, is to write 3 shitty pages, and that's it. Now, I can write 3 shitty pages pretty easily. However, what actually ends up happening is that I end up writing something pretty decent. And then once it's down on paper, editing and refining becomes far more easy and fun. So, and when it comes to music, my voice isn't good enough. My guitar skills are not good enough, but I play and sing anyway. Because when it comes to music especially, truth transcends skill. There are so many skilled musicians in the world who do not connect on that deep emotional and spiritual level. Good enough doesn't actually matter with art if it reverberates with authentic truth. So if you feel that resistance and hear the lie in your head about not being good enough, then flip it around. Use that to dispel any perfectionism. Don't try to be great. Go ahead and give yourself liberty to make something crappy. But the real goal is to say something and make something. And from that point, you will know how to get better at what you're doing. Number 2, I can't make a living off of my art. I hate this lie so much because it kind of misses the point entirely. So I'm going to break this down in 2 parts. Number 1, if your goal is to make money primarily, then do something else. There are so many other jobs that will provide you financial security. So go ahead. You are free to go ahead and get a job at a bank or wherever it might be and use that to fund your art as a hobby. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do. But understand that if your baseline goal is to make money, instead of accessing your spiritual being, expressing language in forms that transcend words, and create powerful connections in the world, then you're probably not really an artist. So the first issue is that of proper alignment. Money should actually be the last thing on your mind until you know that the gift of your art provides enough value and it deserves reciprocity from those who are enjoying it. So the second part of this is we'll say we've got our alignment correct, right? And that your heart is in the right place, that you're not pursuing this to make money, but you're pursuing it, and from that will create an abundance in your life. Let's say you have a ton of amazing photography, music, poems, you're a great dancer and actor. All you need to do is see if there's one person in the world who is doing what you want to do, if they are where you want to be as an artist. And I'm not even talking about the master of their craft. I'm not even talking, if you're an actor, I'm not even talking about like Gary Oldman or Daniel Day-Lewis, like perfection. I'm talking about someone who's within your range. For me, if I'm doing music, I'm not Johnny Cash, but can I be a comparable person in the realm that is making a decent living, and that's within striking distance. So then all you have to do is see if it's possible. And of course, probable and possible are two different things. Now, more than ever at any time in human history, the independent artist has a pathway through the internet to create a sustainable career. I've talked about this a little bit in other videos. I want to keep this video short, so I can open up this conversation at a later time. But simply see if you're believing that lie that I just can't make a living at this. Is there someone who you can actually imagine yourself being that feels like, you know what? Just the fact that they exist and they're doing what they do means that I have that within my grasp as well. And it's just about learning the process, breaking down the steps of how to get there. So you're empowered with that and you're not disempowered through this lie. Number 3, I don't have the right connections. And this one may actually not be a lie, but more of an obstacle. And at best, it's an obstacle. At worst, it's an excuse. But I'm actually very sympathetic to this as a filmmaker because you have to have a team to make a film, even if it's a small one. Perhaps you're a dancer and you live in a place where your town just doesn't produce shows where you can use your craft. So yeah, you have to find connections. But then with that, rather than accept that as the truth, figure out how to forge them and create them. And that's one of the beautiful things about the internet. There are multiple opportunities with that. The best way I have found to create connections is to just find other artists that you think are doing cool stuff and inspiring you, and reach out to them to offer your support along their own path. Approach them not from a place of getting anything from them, but to lend a hand and support and collaborate, because that is where real friendship is made. And when we're friends and we're colleagues, then we want to work together. We want to help each other out. I've gotten many, many jobs, not through networking events, but through friendships. And in my experiences in LA, I would just say a little advice here. Don't actually go to networking events. Those are not where it's at. I've gone to a few, and there's just this needy energy to so many of them where everyone's just kind of looking for that opportunity from somebody else rather than coming in to co-create from a spirit of abundance. So again, find out, rather than accepting this as a lie that you're just believing or an excuse that's holding you back, find out where the cool artists are, even if it's in an online space again. And I'm actually, just a little heads up here for you guys who've been watching these videos, this is something that I do see as a great opportunity to build upon, and it is something that I'm looking to build more of soon with Art and Void, and in a more robust way, so that, like, again, if you're living in the middle of nowhere and it's really hard to create those connections, that we'll find more opportunities to grow in an online space together, so that this whole idea of not having the right connections is further diminished. But before I end this video, I'm going to do a little bonus one. So in fact, this is these are 4 lies that we believe, but 3 always sounds better in a title, 3 or 5, whatever reason. 3 plus a bonus. And this is, people will think I'm blank. People will think I'm crazy. People will think I'm stupid. People will think I suck. This is really just the fear of what people think. And my answer to this is awesome. If people think you're crazy, if people think your artwork sucks, that is great. So flip that around again. There is nothing worse, in my opinion, than being boring and forgettable. I would much rather people hate my film or my music than just see it, hear it, and just be like, yeah, it's nice. That's fine. In other words, you've heard the quote, to avoid criticism, be nothing, do nothing, say nothing. Art creates reaction. Sometimes it triggers people because subconsciously they hold certain beliefs. And the spirit of authentic truth and expression and igniting emotions will cause a response. So let some idiot say you suck. Let your parents think you're crazy. That sounds like an artist to me. So welcome it and enjoy the ride. So if you like this video, go ahead and like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you think about some of these responses. I'm trying to come at these from a little bit different angle in ways that have actually helped me in my life to reframe my thinking and my belief system in order to just move through those blocks. So appreciate you all. Thanks for watching.